is Caleb Williams worth the hype? Now, obviously time will tell, but I'm here to tell people right here, right now, Caleb Williams is going to more than prove to live up to the hype. I'm a believer in Caleb Williams. And the one thing I like about Caleb Williams is it just seems like he's always in control. He's always in command. And I think that says a lot about his character and a lot about his football IQ and a lot about the person that he is, because it takes a lot to really master a playbook at the college level and in the NFL as well. And it seemed like Caleb Williams really dove into USC's playbook. He seemed dialed in every single week. Now, did every single week result in great wins and losses? Not necessarily, but it's not like USC had a national championship level roster and Caleb Williams was holding them back. That was not the case. When it comes to Caleb Williams, he is a special thrower of the football. And he's a guy that can really work in structure within the timing and rhythm of the offense. But really where Caleb Williams is at his best is when he's running around and creating and extending plays. Because that's some of the things you really can't teach. Like, okay, a lot of quarterbacks can, from a clean pocket, hit wide open wide receivers and throw the ball 50 yards down the field. A lot of quarterbacks can do that. Quarterbacks are more talented than ever. What separates quarterbacks in the NFL and what makes a quarterback go from good to great is the fact that, okay, let's see how you are when the offensive line isn't necessarily blocking up front for you. And we have 2 or 3 starters that are going to be out this week, and you're going to have to elevate the troops around you, You're going to have to fit the ball into tight windows. You're going to have to really, truly carry our wide receiver core. And I believe Caleb Williams is a quarterback that improves your playbook. He's not as good as the playbook around him. He elevates the playbook that is given to him. He takes that playbook and says, okay, I can do this, that, and the third, but let me add on to it, because Caleb Williams is a natural creator. And in terms of the way he throws the football, it's natural, great velocity, really just pinpoint accurate down the field when he needs to be, really can just zero back. And I'll just say this right now. If Caleb Williams threw a football through a car wash, it may not get wet. That's how good of a thrower of the football he is. I think that he is just really, really good. He processes well. He moves around really well. And I think that one of the underrated aspects of Caleb Williams is 2 things: decision-making and ability to run the football. Caleb Williams is not one of those quarterbacks that will force balls into double coverage. And he's not one of those quarterbacks that just makes really boneheaded decisions. I think that he's a really good decision maker. I've seen him, sacrifice his statistics and throw the ball out of bounds when needed, when nothing's really there. And Caleb Williams, as a runner of the football, he brings an added element to your football team at the quarterback position, because it's one of those things where the NFL is very complex. Cornerbacks are better than ever. Pass rushers are bigger, faster, and stronger than ever. The NFL is a different game. So because that's the case, sometimes a lot of rookie quarterbacks, they get overwhelmed. But because Caleb Williams is able to extend plays with his feet consistently, that's going to buy him some years in the NFL, where some weeks the coaching staff is probably just going to say, okay, Caleb Williams, we're just going to let you run around and make plays. Let's just figure it out on the fly. You may not know the playbook all the way right here. You're still probably learning how to read defenses, but we can still find ways to win games because we're going to move you outside the pocket. We're going to allow you to be this great creator that you are, and we'll kind of figure it out. That's kind of what the Buffalo Bills did at times with Josh Allen, where it's like, okay, Josh Allen isn't necessarily refined right now, but he'll eventually figure it out. Same thing with the Baltimore Ravens. Lamar Jackson was not the quarterback that he is today in terms of football IQ, being able to read defenses. But the Ravens, they just said, okay, Lamar, as a rookie, let's just see what you got. You can run around and extend plays, and we'll figure out the rest later. They were still able to win games because of how dynamic Lamar Jackson was as a runner of the football, and even as a dynamic down-the-field passer as well. I kind of see Caleb Williams in that same boat. The difference is Caleb Williams is actually a really, really good refined pocket passer. And I think Caleb Williams is going to come into the NFL and instantly be one of the most talented quarterbacks in the NFL and one of the most exciting players in the NFL. He is electric. He's a gamer. He's a quarterback that I trust to build my franchise around. Now, I will say he is a little bit on the smaller side, like kind of barely 6'1" tall, has a good build, but not like stacked out the gym type stocky build. So can he hold up at the NFL level? Only time will tell. And I will say, if you get pressure in his face, then he at times kind of makes mistakes, but that's with a lot of quarterbacks. Like most quarterbacks, if you kind of pressure them 24/7, they're going to make mistakes. Did we not see Patrick Mahomes in a Super Bowl versus Tampa Bay where he was pressured 24/7 and Patrick Mahomes didn't really look like Patrick Mahomes? So that's with a lot of quarterbacks. And I will say, because Caleb Williams is a fearless football player, and I mean truly fearless, like where he's going to run people over potentially if he needs to. He's going to throw the football into sometimes triple coverage because he has arm arrogance. Like he really believes in his physical ability. But because of that, sometimes Caleb Williams can try to do a little bit too much. And it's one of those things where Caleb Williams can make all the crazy acrobatic throws, but sometimes when you're baited into playing and leading into that play style, it's almost like you have to be perfect. And sometimes when you try to go for the home run ball and create off schedule and try to make these crazy off-platform throws, if you're just off by a couple inches, the defense can make you pay. So I really would like to see Caleb Williams in Chicago or wherever he plays in the NFL really just be a quarterback that learns to take what the defense gives him and just learn to react naturally off of instinct. Because when you're reacting naturally off of instincts and you're taking what the defense gives you, that's when you become hard to defend. What makes Patrick Mahomes so special is he takes what the defense gives him. Like, he doesn't let the defense off the hook. Early in his career, he did, but we've seen Patrick Mahomes kind of, dial it back a little bit and just be patient and trust the playbook and trust the coaching staff and trust his receivers, and his physical ability just takes over when it needs to. And one thing about Caleb Williams is if the defense makes a mistake, what I like about him is he doesn't miss layups. He doesn't miss fastballs. He will make you pay if you don't make adjustments and you make a mistake. So that's what I like about Caleb Williams. I believe in his leadership. I believe in his talent. I believe in his charisma. And I believe in his overall ability to throw the football. As long as the guy stays relatively healthy, I believe he's going to be a high-end starting quarterback for years and years to come in the National Football League.